Hello guys, Fens here, and welcome to some Diablo 4 patch notes. It's the same patch as they were talking about on the campfire chat, but now it is... Well, I assume it's not entirely finalized because they can make changes until August 8th, but this should at least be what we're getting. That music might be a little loud. This might at least be what we're getting very close to. So these are their... I guess this is their goals for the patch. Improve the effectiveness of Sorcerer Barbarian. Yeah, you talked that. While addressing the following for each class. Late game survivability. Mostly through Paragon board improvements. It's fine. It's going to stick with them into Season 2 when they're going to fix resistances. So it might just get nerfed again. Or Sorcs are going to be absolute batshit crazy. Class mechanics move away from Kiss Curse. Yeah. I haven't really seen any Kiss Curse effects on other... specs to the extent, or classes to the extent that they are on Sorcerer. So it seemed like they had a design philosophy for Sorcerer that just didn't match up with any of the other classes, or maybe they just overindulged in it. Barbarian, speed up the flow of combat. That is literally just Fury Gen. Yeah. Add late game excitement by increasing the power of unique items. So I mean, you're gonna have a little bit more fun leveling, and you're gonna have better uniques, but other than that, nothing is really coming to you, I guess. But then strengthen built it on reaching high power level. I think they're doing that almost every patch, but that's good. I mean, diversify the user's cases for legendary items and other effects that are overly situational. Yeah, this one I feel like they oversold a lot. What they made it sound like is they were gonna go for things to be way more generic, as in, instead of it being whirlwind, it would be channeled skill. Instead of it being fireball, it would be fire damage or fire skill or pyromancy skill or whatever. And that wasn't really the case. Most of this is just we made it work on bosses, or there's one where it used to be whenever you cast Fireball or Meteor, you got a crit damage, a critical strike chance or damage for those two spells. Now it's just whenever you cast them, you get a critical strike damage for everything. That's the most general one they found. But other than that, it's... Yeah, I don't know. Let's go for Barbarian. Let's see. Did they change anything? This looks very similar. Just all of them. Just all of them is just you're just getting more... It's big increases. Like don't sleep on a 11 to 13. Don't sleep on a 10 to 13. Don't, like 2 to 3. Yeah, that's like 50% increase, right? 10 to 12. These are not. This is already the best one, and it's only going to be one behind. I guess in comparison to Flay, it's now slightly worse. Where before it was the same. It's still only one behind Bash. I'm not sure. Enhanced Frenzy, that's a I think that's like the third point or the second point in the skill, not like the modifier to the skill. So they're not buffing Frenzy's base, I guess, but they're buffing if you put another point into it. I don't know how that seems. I don't know how that is obviously a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, if you were gonna use Frenzy, Enhanced Frenzy, if you were going to use that skill, I think it's the one where you attack faster, right? Maybe I'm dumb. I shouldn't go into something I don't really know anything about. I feel like this is the one where you get a buff, and as soon as when you have that buff, you get more Fury gain, but maybe I'm wrong. Double Swing, damage increase, 10%. That's the buffing up some skills that doesn't doing enough damage. Enhanced Rupture, this is a big increase. Enhanced Charge, they added the Charge Legendary as well, so maybe Charge build, that would be cool. If there is a Charge build, I'll definitely try it out. Mighty Charge, yeah, so again, Charge, but I guess these two are competing, maybe? I'm not sure, I haven't played enough Barbarian. If these two are competing, Enhanced and Mighty Charge, but Enhanced might be the second point, and this might be the choice note, but we'll see. Double up the duration of Vulnerable is pretty good, though. Violent Upheaval is one of the coolest fucking barb skills I've ever seen. The fucking drag up the ground. Just 2 enemies or a boss. Berserking. Increase to 3 seconds if it damages at least 4 enemies. Okay. I think it's mostly just a boss thing that's added, but that's good functionality, right? Sorry. There's a lot of changes here, actually. I don't think there was that many. Maybe there was. Aggressive, resistant, damage reduction increase, gushing wound, blade. Oh, so you actually get more. Your critical damage bonus is actually getting more powerful. That's pretty cool. This is a big buff, but overpower is a 3% chance, so I don't know how massive that is if you can't guarantee it, and I don't think buffs can. But still, whenever you do this, it's gonna be good. Unconstrained, just a 10% damage increase. Well, then the tooltip upgrade, I guess that's good. Walking arsenal, bonus damage duration. So this is where you, whenever you swap, you get a buff, and so you want to swap between weapons all the time in order to keep the buff up. And they wanted to make that easier, and I haven't played it, but to me that sounds a little bit like making it mundane and boring. But if it was next to impossible to keep it up and that was frustrating, then it makes sense. On the other hand, if you now don't have to think about it at all and you just fucking, it's just passive and you just have it all the time, that makes it boring, I think. But then again, if it was a fucking bitch and a hassle and unfun at 6, then it makes sense, right? I haven't played it, so I can't say. So just a bunch of legendary buffs. This is just a damage increase, 8%. Just good. Thorns, again a buff, and then the functionality to hit bosses. That's good. Again, just a damage increase. There's a damage increase. The making reduction. Well, yeah, there's also just a DR increase, and then a damage bonus while you're. So they want earthquake to be a thing, but they can't really make it a thing at the moment. So they're just gonna make it so when you stand in it, it's a thing, and then they're gonna fix it later, I assume. But like, what they were saying here is they want to diversify the use cases for legendary items or other effects. If you look at this, right, the only thing here that is diversifying the use of any legendaries is this. You can now actually use it because it'll hit a boss. It's like, okay. But yeah, uniques. So the Fields of Crimson, that's the one that drops the pools. Right, and it's just a pool that does damage. They increase the damage of it. They increase the they increased. Oh yeah, so the enemies in the pools take more damage. That's big buff. So now it's a 20% multiplier instead. And then what? Cooldown on rupture was reduced with both crit strike damage. Is that really good? Because I feel like that's bad, right? Cooldown is the most powerful shit in the game. But maybe I'm wrong. Hellhammer. That's the... Whenever you do something, you burn on the ground, right? So they increase the damage, they increase the duration, and they move damage to crowd control, replaced with bonus critical strike damage. That's good. I mean, this is an additive, this is a multiplicative, so that's just a buff. Ramaladni's Magnum Opus. Physical damage effect replaced with vulnerable damage. Well, again, additive, multiplicative. Big buff. 100,000 steps. So yeah, you get evade charges instead. I like that more than the reduced cooldown, so I think I would be happy with this. Damage against stunned with bonus movement speed. So you're losing damage, but you are gaining movement speed. I think the only reason, honestly, that I didn't kill Lilith before the season started was that my gear didn't have enough movement speed, because I grossly underestimated the value of movement speed on Lilith specifically, but I think in general, because usually I'm used to Diablo 3 where you just get max movement speed from your Paragon, so there's no need to have it anywhere. The only real like good use of movement speed would be on your boots, because it couldn't really have any other good affixes, and that would let you put that more Paragon points into main stat. So yeah, movement speed is really good. But you are always sacrificing damage for it, I believe. Maybe not always on boots, but in this case you are. Maybe not always on boots, actually. Battle Trance. Basic skill damage replaced with cooldown reduction. Well, that's just a win. Bonus attack speed to other skills increased. That's a hefty buff. More than double. Alright, let's look at the kings of the world. Rogues. Wait, where do we go? Why did it get thrown? Oh, because okay, so it's way shorter. So the Barbarian fucking closed and this opens. That's sort of a weird interaction. Skills. So just buffs to skills. Fundamental invigorating strike, energy threshold. I do not know what this means, but I'm assuming it's good. Primary forceful arrow. Every third cast pierces. I'm assuming it was like 4th or 5th then. But otherwise, again, I haven't played enough rogue, I guess. 2% damage increase. No damage bonus increase. So is that... Oh, is you doing extra damage to things that are affected by them? Maybe? Damage increased. Yeah, I've seen the poison rogue. I don't think that needs buffs, but here we go. That's a big buff. Supreme rain of arrows. So it was knocking down on the second instead of the first. Makes a lot of sense to make it the first because, yeah, they say that in the campfire chat, right? When you use the abilities, when you want the effect. So if it's the second row of arrows, then the mobs are no longer in place where you want them. Let's see. Victimize. So just 10% increased lucky hit. Rugged. So DR, big increase. Holy shit. Look at that. Fucking Jesus. Okay. And again, a big increase. Legendaries no longer requires hits to be from close enemies. So it is just, it had to be from close and now it's just everything. So this is just, they probably just make this very useful then. I'm not sure what it does. Is it just dodge chance? It sounds like it's dodge chance of some sort. That's cool, at least. That is again the diversifying legendaries, right? This is what they could come up with rather than making stuff more. Aspect of quickening folk. You automatically drop a smoke grenade at the end of a dash. Smoke grenades reduce dash cooldown. Is that a new one? This sounds like they're putting in a new aspect. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just changed it completely. I don't know how good this is. It seemed like taking 3 seconds off your dash seems good. I don't know what the cooldown of dash is either, but this would be like a... It would be... It's a utility, I guess. So it would compete with... Wait, yeah, it's a... Wait, which one is the trap ones? So you have the axe for offensive. You have the shield for defensive. And you have the trap one. Is that utility? Or what is that? Because there's also the resource ones. And I'm not sure if that's called utility. Well, this is one of the ones that I think can be on... What is it? It's boots. And rings. And I can't remember what else. I'm assuming. It's the one with the trap icon. I'm assuming. But those are usually competing with defensive ones as well. So maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Might be good. Seems okay. Depends how much you use dash and how necessary it is. It's obviously only going to be good in high density things. Because for a 0.6, you do need to hit 5 targets. A 0.6 second reduction on a boss is not really going to do anything, I don't think. Wind Force, so they just replaced the old stats with vulnerable. That's that seems pretty good. Word of Hakan, ultimate damage affix with cooldown reduction. Big win, I guess. That's really good. Druid, the one I'm playing right now. So we have increases to gen. Earth Spike to 13. It's a large chain. These are 11 to 12, 14 to 15, 13 to 14, 15 to 17. I mean they're on the smaller side compared to the Barbarian, but they're still this is not that small, right? Because yeah, you might be like, oh, I'm only getting one Spirit X, or what's that really gonna do? You have increased resource gen, for instance, like that's gonna make that number bump up. So yeah, I mean, it's just also right now the way I'm playing is I'm pulverizing. That means I'm in bear form, and then I hit Storm Strike, then I'm out of bear form, and then I have the talent where whenever I swap, I think it's whenever I swap into human form with an attack, I gain spirit. So just getting a little bit more spirit again might actually mean that I never have to stop just pulver storm, right? but maybe it might be too little. But there is definitely a breakpoint that's going to be easier to reach with this buff. Let's see, wolves. Yeah, they're buffing wolves. It's like they have to, because they're kind of useless, and they made a fucking heart that revolves around wolves. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Like, it's so dumb to me. They said, when they're talking about minions, we want Necromancer to be the minion class. But obviously, Druid has companions as well, so we have to make them feel good as well. But they haven't really made a minion build, right? There's no real minion build for Druid, because they want Necromancer to have the minion build. There's no real minion build for Necro either, as far as I'm aware, so they just fucked it up, I guess. But when they have that philosophy, wait, we don't want to make Druid the fucking minion. Why do you make the only fucking seasonal heart thing, Malignant Heart, a pet one for Druids then? The only thing that heart does is give you +3 to wolves, and you have a chance at summoning a wolf. If you're not using wolves, you do not have a Malignant Heart in the offensive category as a Druid. You have to go to the general category. And it's going to work out fine, because there are powerful options in the general category, but that sucks ass. Like, if you have a seasonal mechanic like this, I feel like the offensive one should 100% be build enabling, or at least very much build supporting. And you don't have any build that really benefits all that much from spawning a random wolf and having +3 to wolves, because you don't want Druid to be the minion class. But yeah, let's see the more wolf packs. Fucking more wolf buffs. 5% more damage increase bonus and 5% attack speed bonus. And then that's a big fortify. So I guess it just, maybe there's a use case, but it's only ever going to be a support skill. And I don't think having +3 to wolves or a chance of summoning a random wolf is really going to be that big in terms of the support skill. But maybe I'm wrong. It also only works on kill, so it doesn't work on bosses, I guess, unless they change that in here as well. But I don't think they talked about that, unless they made it a lucky hit chance on the boss. Maybe they did. I do feel like I might remember something about that, actually. So maybe it does work on bosses, or maybe it is actually okay if it can be used as a support skill. But it just, to me, it just seems stupid to have this. I guess maybe there is a chance at using it as a support skill, but the +3 to a support skill, is that really going to do anything for you? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just a little bit disappointed that they made the heart revolve around wolves, but you don't have a build that revolves around wolves, or really feel like it benefits that much from +3. But big damage buff to ravens. Increase the passive damage range by 40%. Additional so that's just added in addition to whatever it did in the first place. Rabies damage over time. That's a big increase. Poison Druid coming in hot, maybe. Paragon node, lightning, resilience, rare node, maximum life bonus 4 to 6. Okay, wait, is that the only one? Okay. Aspect of metamorphic stone. I think this is the one. I think this is the one that makes your boulder a core skill, which seems really cool. So that just got a hefty buff, 50 rather than 60, and up to 120. Pretty big. Aspect of the alpha. I'm not entirely sure what alpha is. Maybe it's the one where you have a wolf pack. Is this the one where they turn into werewolves? Maybe. So maybe they're actually making something out of the wolves here. I'm not entirely sure what aspect of the alpha specifically is, but it's a decent buff, 15%. It's pretty good. If it is the one I'm thinking about, where, what is it? You do more damage. Is it the one where you do more damage the more companions you have, or is it the one where your wolves turn into a werewolf and deal increased damage? Or is that a unique? I can't remember. That means it's a buff, right? Mangled aspect, so resource from 1 to 3. That's a hefty increase. Class mechanic, overload, lucky hit chance increase from 20 to 40. That's like a storm skill thing. I'm not sure exactly what that is either, but I mean double up. Oh, I guess it wasn't performing very well. Sorcerer. Yeah, this one, flickering firebolt. Instead of it having to hit a burning enemy to generate 2, it just generates 2. It's a buff. I don't think it matters, but whatever. Enhanced fireball. Casting fireball increases its radius by 50%. So this only works on the ones that you fire, I guess, yourself. But what an odd thing to do. But I guess more AoE. Firebolts, critical strike damage increased by 20%. Nice. This is increased to 30 if fireball hits at least 3 enemies. Seems pretty good. Oh yeah, this is the greater chain lightning. Easily deals 5% increased damage for its duration. That is really... That turns into a lot. And then just a buff to the crackling energy. I am very interested in making a sorcerer and leveling with chain lightning build. I think that's going to be a lot of fucking... I like chain lightning. It's cool. You get the one where it bounces to more and just... You get the one where whenever you spend enough, you fire off a free one maybe and just have a lightning fiesta show. But yeah. Veer's passive. Damage bonus increase. So that's I think that's a... that's one of the ultimate passives, whatever they're called. Capstone passives or whatever. I don't remember what they called them. So just a 5% buff to that. It's pretty good. Asus Ferocity. Both bonus and are also granted for 3 seconds and hit a boss with a critical strike. So this is... Is this when you... Is this has 2 CC things, or is it just immobilized or something? I'm on, and now it just it just works on bosses, right? It's not anything else. This is what they mean when they say they want to diversify legendaries. It's just, yeah, we made it work on bosses. But yeah, combustion, that is the capstone passive, whatever, for burning builds. So it's now just a 20% multiplier for burning damage, which is really good, and then keeps the original functionality. It doesn't say anything about a cap here. It used to be capped at 3, I believe. 3 unique sources of burning, but maybe they changed that? But I don't know. And here comes all of the DR stuff. Except for this one. Casting Fireball immediately increase your critical strike chance by 5% for 5 seconds, taking up to 15. That used to only pertain to Fireball and Meteor. Now it's just everything. Ceaseless Conduit, Legendary Note, crackling enemy damage. That's... Wait, increase crackling enemies damage from 2 to 3% per 20 intelligence. The player has reinforced rare glyph. Huh? Increase crackling energies damage from 2 to 3 per 20 intelligence. The player has reinforced rare glyph. Excusez-moi? What? That doesn't make sense. Is this English? I'm not sure what to make of this. Ceaseless Conduit Legendary Node. Increase crackling energies damage from 2 to 3 per 20 intelligence the player has. Reinforced rare glyph. Huh? This must be a typo, right? This must be it. Increase crackling energy damage from 2 to 3 per 20 intelligence the player has. So every 20 you just get 1 more percent. So for every 40 it's double up. This is 50% increase. It's insane. Whether or not it's enough, I'm not sure. I haven't made a crackling energy build. I want to. I wonder if a chain lightning as a vehicle for a crackling energy damage or energy build is going to be good. That was some of the things. So what I like to do when I play is I just like to pick up shit and theorycraft on the way and just see, oh, I want to play with this. Oh, I want to make a build around this. And Crackling Energy was something that I wanted to try. I do think it's going to be asinine gameplay because it relies on you to proc for you to proc Crackling Energy, and it's not very controllable because it's just going to sap whenever it's close, right? So you can't really play around it. It's just going to be functioning. So if it doesn't work, it's gonna be ass, and if it's abundant, it's probably gonna be good. So I never got into it, but this is a hefty buff. And then Reinforced Rare Glyph is just here, and I don't know, but yeah, Territorial Rare Glyph, damage reduction increased 10 to 15, fire up. This is hefty. Fucking Warding Rare Glyph, but that is a glyph, I guess, as well, right? And that is all you're getting from the glyph. So 12%. So they want to make sorcerers more tanky, but they're adding it on glyphs. And if you add it on glyph, you're going to take damage away. So I think these are kind of close to dead on arrival, unless you're really, really, really pushing the high end. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are passives, but maybe these are passive additions to the glyph and it has a more powerful first. I don't remember. I think warding is a pure defensive. I think territorial is the one that makes you buff up rare or magic nodes in the area. So that definitely has a damage component. So this one is these 5%. I'm assuming you're gonna get. This one I don't think you're gonna get, but maybe. Keeper of the Flames ran out. Damage reduction increased 5 to 4. That's for burning, right? Bonus damage reduction increase. So instead of 8, you'll get 10. So 2 up. Unless you build your character wrong and you'll get 1 up. Smoldering Embers ran out. Damage reduction from burning enemies. Oh, wait. Keeper of Flames ran out. Damage reduction. And this is burning enemy. What is this then? I thought this was to burning enemies as well. You don't just get free DR from a Keeper of Flames, do you? I don't think you do. I think this is also to burning and they just have a bit of a typo, but maybe I'm wrong. Damage reduction from burning enemies increased from 4 to 5. Good. So again, 10 up, or sorry, 2 up from 8 to 10. Guarded rare node. Damage reduction from vulnerable. It's the same. 2 up. Oppressive rare node. Damage reduction from vulnerable increased to 4 to 5. It's only 1 up. Lightning resilience node. Maximum life increase from 4 to 6. Yeah, I mean 2 up. Just, it's not, there's not that many. I think they had more. So basically, you're getting 2% DR and 5%. So you're getting 7% DR. Oh, sorry, wait, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, so that's 4. So you're getting 9% DR, basically. If you're taking these, which I'm not sure you are, then it goes up a bit more. I guess that's a lot of DR still to add on top of what you have. Maybe. All right. Serpentine, this is the Hydra one. So instead of it being a downside here, it's just an upside. So it used to reduce duration, now it increases it. Just a heavy buff. It affects Hydra's enchantment. There's one wherever you spend enough mana, you spawn a Hydra. Aspect of Conflict, bonus damage increase from 20 to 30. So again, just a buff. This is a bit of a weird buff, right? Because the bottom end is not, so it's just a larger range for it to roll. Engulfing Flames, bonus damage. That's a doubling. That's big. Aspect of 3 curses, increase the critical strike damage of medium fireball by 20 to 40. Double this bonus against healthy enemies. So this is again where they're like, oh, we want to diversify things. I think this used to be only meteor, so now they diversified it massively, and it's also fireball. Why is this not just pyromancy? Why is it not just pyromancy skills? But I guess it's because it's critical strike damage and the other ones are burning. Because it doesn't work with, what is it, incinerate? It doesn't work with flame wall. So it would be firebolt. So effectively it doesn't really matter. I guess. I mean, Hydra. Hydra could be critical. Like, it could work on Hydra, right? So why is it not just pyromancy damage? Whatever. It could also, if it worked on flame wall, it will work into the, it would go into the, it could I'm not saying it would. It could go into the Paragon note that turns your crit strike damage into burning damage. Flamewalker, increase bonus movement, whatever. Gravitational aspect. So this used to reduce the damage ball lightning did. Now it does increased damage. So you used to be able to just get it to orbit, but you took a damage penalty. Now you get a damage bonus. Nice. There's a big buff to this. Unbroken tether. So instead of 2, it's now 4. That's a lot of more bounces. With the other chain lightning things, that's gonna be huge, I think. And then each time chain lightning bounces, you gain mana. That's nice. Again, double up duration of movement speed. That's pretty good. Bounding conduit, bonus movement speed. Again, 5% up. It's great. New legendary Made Lord's aspect. Increase Veer's mastery passive damage reduction by 6 to 9 for each close enemy up to. Okay. That's Oh, I'm an idiot. It's not a buff. It's you get 6 to 9 for each close, and it goes up to 27. So there's 3 enemies. You have max. I'm an idiot. But 20% DR is pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. Aspect Frozen Orbit. Damage increased from 20-30 to 30-40. Just above. Storm Swell. Bonus damage increased. It's... yeah. Again, just 10%. Snow Veiled. Unstoppable duration. So that's whenever you have ice armor, you're unstoppable. So it's... or whenever you hit it, I guess you're unstoppable. And it also grants 10% bonus armor. So you have a little bit of... you're probably gonna... you might use this now, actually. Having this unstoppable button is pretty good. And then you get 10% bonus armor. That's pretty good. I'm not sure. Incendiary aspect. Lucky hit. Damage from your pyramid skills have up to a 12 to 17% chance to restore 10 mana. That's good. I'm not sure if 10 is enough, though. Also, you have a lucky hit and then a fairly low chance. I'm not really liking the lucky hit you have a chance, but it's like kind of you have to have a lucky hit and then a lucky hit. It's like you have a chance, but then again, the lucky hit chances are wild on some skills, so it kind of has to happen. But it seems needlessly complex and convoluted, but yeah. While within your own blizzard for 3 seconds after, and for 3 seconds after leaving it, you take. So this is the same. Maybe it was 15 to 25, but it's always been 25, I believe, and it just persists for 3 seconds. Mana regen. That's a big buff. Duration requirement to gain its benefit. So this is whenever you don't take damage, you get resource gen. So instead of 20 to 30, it's just up to 40 to 50. Big buff. And instead of 3 seconds of not taking damage, it's 2 seconds. So this is a pretty big buff. Gloves of the Illuminator. Is this the ones? This is the bouncy ones, right? Yeah, this is the fireball bounce. So... well, it still is a damage penalty, and I don't think it has to be. I think you can just take that out, and it's fine, but whatever. Damage to stun replaced with lucky hit, chance to restore resource. So you're losing damage, but you're possibly gaining resource. That's probably good. I'm not sure. First bounce occurs much closer to the player, so it's easier to play, I guess. Necromancer. Enhanced Bone Spirit, cooldown reduced 6 to 7. I mean, okay. Paragon. Is that the only skill? Okay. Wither Legendary. Willpower requirement for bonus reduced from 50 to 40. Bonus damage per 40 willpower increase. So, not only do you need 10 less willpower, but they're also fucking almost double as big. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So I'm assuming this is whenever for every 40 willpower you have. But then again, you don't stack willpower as a necromancer, so it's probably not that bad, right? It's probably fine. Maybe there's a willpower stacking necromancer that just blasts, but if you don't have int, your stuff doesn't scale. So I don't know. Aspect of empowering reaper. Damage with sever at 10-20. Spawn a pool. Oh, this is the one that used to be crit, and the pool doesn't crit, so it doesn't really work. So now instead of it's a crit chance, it's just a flat 10 to 20, and then you can actually stack it. I don't like this, that it can only occur every 3 seconds, but I guess if it is already a 10 to 20% chance, I do not think there's a need for this. Because it has to be sever, right? I don't think there's a need for this when you already have a low chance. If it was guaranteed, I could see the reason, or if it was a high chance, I could see the reason. But it's 10 to 20%. You would expect you to not be able to sever that many times in 3 seconds, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you can fire off fucking more than 5 severs in 3 seconds, maybe. But this seems to just protect you from winning the lottery, and I don't like it. An aspect of exposed flesh. Lucky hit, up to a 10% chance to generate 30... Okay. Decay... Wait, is this a new one? I guess this is a new one. Just 5% damage boost. This is a hefty fucking regen bonus. Jesus Christ. Not just the buffs, but also the range is insane. Fucking 20 to 30 before. Oh, this is not performing well. Let's just triple it. And they did more than triple it. They tripled the max range to get the bottom one. And then they just threw 170 on there. Hulking aspect. Legendary category change from resource to utility. So it can no longer only be on rings, but it can be on boots as well. And maybe something else, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe boots and pants. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. Boots, rings, and pants, maybe. Oh, it can be on necklaces as well, right? Maybe. I'm not sure. I know this. I think this is the trap one. Chance for golem to reduce the cooldown increased. So the chance is at 5%. Okay. Chance to golem to spawn a corpse increased. A 2.5% chance for a golem to spawn a corpse. This doesn't seem very good. Like, you have a 2.5%... No, you have a 5% chance to reduce its cooldown. But by how much? Just... I don't know by how much. Chance to golem to spawn a corpse. 2.5. This just seems like... Yeah, you can have a 5% chance for it to reduce the cooldown. Not reset. Reduce. And a 2.5% chance to spawn a corpse. Like... seems really low. Maybe I'm dumb, but that seems really low. Grief's Empty Tomb. Intelligent affix replaces with bonus movement speed. So you lose damage from movement speed. I think you would have been preferred to keep the intelligence and replace something else, but I guess. The following attack now deals reduced damage to Druid companions and Necromancer minions. But why is it on the Necromancer? Fuck you. So the Valrog, it's just whatever was destroying pets got fixed. Alright. Gameplay updates. Monster density. We're increasing monster density in Nightmare Dungeon and Helltide. Wait, that's it? That's what you're saying? Well, yeah. I think somebody said that it was about a 50% increase. Somebody counted the little red dots, I believe I've heard. So that's gonna be good. So moving on, it is no longer boss density, but boss health, and you're very bad at titling your shit, because this is not monster density. This is boss health increase. So below level 60, no fucking changes. I guess that's fine. Level 80 have 50% increased health. That is a lot of more health. Bosses at level 100 have 100% increased health. 120% increased health. I wonder how they came up with that number. Boss at level 150 and above have 150% increased health. I wonder how they came up with that number. So just essentially just prepare to actually fight bosses. Prepare to not just go there and one clap them. Yeah. Honestly, the bosses at level 100 having 100% increased health for, yeah, they're gonna die slower. What happened on my Sorc at level 100 was that I would get there and I would kill it just as I CC'd it. So my build, without doing any damage, would actually just destroy it. So I don't think it's gonna matter much at like level 100. I don't think it's gonna matter much at level 120. Depending on your build, I think. Obviously, it's going to be slower, for sure, 100%. But I don't... It's going to be noticeable. I'm not trying to say it's not going to be noticeable. What I'm trying to word is I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, you're going to fight a bit longer. So your dungeon is going to take longer. Obviously, it's going to slow you down, but I don't feel like this is going to mean that you're going to go there and just fight a boss for 20 minutes, if that makes sense. I was playing the Blizzard stuff, and I would literally go to the boss, I would put down the Blizzard. As it got CC'd, which it would get CC'd in like 5 seconds or something, it died. Whereas all my damage was in the CC window. So even if it had full HP, by the time I CC'd it, I would have killed it before the CC went out. So what this change would have meant to my Sorcerer specifically is it would just die in the CC. Rather than die just before the CC or just as the CC hit. So you got it would add like 5 seconds tops to the boss fight. With all the nerfs, I'm not sure where that lies, and it is obviously different for different builds. But I do think there are people just going in and just one-shotting the boss almost, and it's just, yeah. But yeah, prepare for boss battles, I guess. 150% increase is a very large chunkus. So it's 120. Yeah. Double up the amount of damage you do to the boss, right? It's gonna take a while. Bosses and events. I feel like this should be here, but alas, it's monster density, I guess. We are making adjustments to the health values of high-level boss monsters. Maybe down here. Okay. Level 35 and higher boss monsters will now have 100% chance to drop a legendary item. That's nice. More legendaries. I heard some criticism that this is going to turn into Diablo 3 and you're just going to get legendaries thrown at you, and I don't care. I think it's nice. Yeah, I've struggled. When I was prepping for a Lilith, I played like a week and a half. I played enough to stock up 70 million gold while still like rolling for things, repairing, all that shit, right? And you might be like, oh, 70 million gold is not that much. No. What I'm saying is I played enough dungeons to sell gear for 70 million gold while I was still doing all the shit in the game, and I didn't get a single fucking upgrade. I didn't get a single fucking change to my legendary aspect. There were multiple of them that could have used an upgrade. So this is just gonna make it so that drought is less likely to occur. And I'm all for it. Treasure goblins now have an increased legendary item drop chance from level 6 to 14 and guarantee a legendary item drop at level 15. It's nice. Doesn't feel good to kill a goblin, you don't get shit. Goblins should be rewarding. More goblins! More goblins! Leading events are now more rewarding and guarantee a legendary item drop starting at level 35. Okay, well, I mean, the reason to do the leading events is they do big HP, but I guess getting a legendary on top is not going to be bad. General. Multiple improvement on how damage and other effects interact with active barriers. Okay. Bonus damage or bonus effect that are applied on hit or when dealing damage will now apply that same effect through barriers. Bonus damage or bonus effects that are applied on hit or when dealing damage. Okay. The exploit Paragon glyph will now apply vulnerable to enemies that have an active barrier. Okay. That's not a problem I've ran into. That's a good change, I think. Cheat death effects will now work properly when the player has an active barrier. Oh, you could get murdered through your cheat death if you had a barrier? Fuck. Varshan will now break through any bone wall segment he dashes through. Okay. The cost... Oh yeah, this is the 40% reduction to the cost of refunding skill in Paragon. Start small at lower levels, 40% to level 100. Okay, so 18% reduction, 24% reduction, 30% reduction. Okay, we've increased the stack limits. Yeah, whatever. Additional stab tab can now be purchased. We're looking forward to that. We have restored the cast time dungeon back to the zone. Okay. Leave dungeon ability was being used as another method of easy escape from danger in dungeons, particularly for hardcore players. However, we recognize that this is outweighed by the downside of the game feeling less responsive. We've heard your feedback. I'm not sure. I honestly think that they were trying to milk seconds, but I see this concern. It's fine. I'm not trying to not take their word for it. This is I definitely agree that this could be a concern, and I think it's good that they're reverting it. All right, the following Nightmare Dungeon affixes have been removed. Nice. Resource burn gone. Backstabbers, don't care, but gone. I heard Sovi and Jester was having issues with it. Empowered elites, cold enchanted, gone. Resource burn, completely unplayable. Out with it. Backstabbers is a play better. I don't care about it. It is fairly punishing when you have the ones that go invisible and actively try to hit you from behind. And also sometimes when you have to kind of run away and something just clips you, it's fairly punishing. But this very much is a play better. So I didn't care. I've played multiple high-level Sigil with Backstabber, never had an issue. But it's fine. I get it. It's a frustrating affix when it just punishes you, so it makes sense. Empowered elites, cold enchanted, I also never had any issues with. I played cold enchanted. For me is a non-affix. It's just like whatever. Like you just break the CC, man. Like just have unstoppable on demand. Yeah. But yeah, I get it. I don't really get it though, because they nerfed it, right? I was about to say I get it. It's an annoying affix, but it was an annoying affix because cold enchanted used to be super powerful and just you just got CC because it hit you once and you go frozen. But they nerfed that, so I think they fixed the issue with cold enchanted. I don't think they need to take out the affix. But whatever, they've done it. I don't care. It's not an affix that I enjoy. So it's whatever. But I think this is a bit ready, fire, aim. They already nerfed it, so I think they should have let it live. But whatever. Malignant Hearts. Caged Heart of Spellbreaking. Upon taking elemental damage, gain 10 to 20% damage reduction for 5 seconds. This is the Sorcerer one. It was giving resistances. How they gave resistance in the beginning when they know resistances are broken is beyond me, but they fixed it. That's good. Your generic unique items. Temerity. All stats affixed with max life. Barrier is now based on max life. Now probably accounted by condition checking for the player having a barrier. So I used to play this because I ran a lot of barrier tech and it wouldn't work with that barrier tech. It now does. Huge buff. All stats with max life. This is a good defensive change. I like it. And then the barrier, I think it used to be... The barrier used to be just a number. But now it's max life. So you can actually stack max life and you get a bigger barrier. So that's pretty fucking cool. I think this is a huge buff. I think Temerity is going to see some play in some builds. I don't think we're really going to go through a lot of the bug fixes. Let's just check real quick. If there's anything we just catch that is something. I don't really fix the issue. I mean, every time. It could be blocked with the butcher or treasure goblin spot behind the barrier. That's pretty good, yeah, right? Wait. Okay. So, fixed an issue where the determination malignant power wouldn't function against a resource burn affix for nightmare dungeons. Fixed an issue where the resource burn affix for nightmare dungeons was applying from close enemies and not just distant enemies. Ah. Well. The following nightmare dungeon affixes have been removed. Is that how you fix the issue? By removing it? It seems a little useless to fix something for something you're taking out, but I guess it's for later, maybe? I don't know. That's why. I mean, okay, it's a bug fix, right? Like, I get it, they had to fix it, but they're taking out this piece useless. But sure, that seems resource waste though. This IRL resource burn in the Blizzard headquarters right here. Yeah, if you can damage a boss through, that makes sense. Oh, this is nice. No longer on death pulls on critters and non-combative creatures. I wonder if that counts treasure goblins. Fixed an issue where players could leave their party after dying in a nightmare dungeon, re-enter the party, and then re-enter the dungeon and not have their revives count towards the dungeon revive cap. The revive cap itself is bullshit. I don't like it. Just put a timer on. If you beat the timer, you get a bonus. If you don't beat the timer, you get a base reward. Fuck the revive cap, but whatever. Issues. Oh, there's some specific class ones. Let's go through those. Oh, wait, this one actually fixed an issue where sometimes would not drop. Oh, that I've not experienced. I've experienced him just not spawning. And I don't see that issue. That's pretty bad. But yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's see Barbarian. Charge didn't carry all enemies hit along with the Barbarian. That's nice. Lunging Strike. I think people use this. Could cause the player to get stuck on the ground. Okay. Critical strike chance granted by focus rate, milling power could be consumed by non-combat skills. Fy fan. Okay. Aspect of Berserk wouldn't cause targets to bleed. Okay. Tooltip for Moon Rage, milling power also communicates the power's additional lucky hit chance of spawning wolf. Oh, so it actually increases. So it's just a, I think it's just a 6% chance to spawn a wolf when you kill something. But now it also has a lucky hit chance for spawn a wolf when damaging a boss. So that was what I was talking about with the wolves. I had seen this somewhere. So this makes it usable on bosses. For now, probably the grants +3 ranks to wolf. I think it's always shown that, but okay. Call of the Wild aspect of the Stampede would not probably affect the passive portion of companion skill. And the active port. Okay. Fixed. Necromancer. Fixed needs to cause more blood orbs than intended to be active at the same time. Okay. So now you have a cap at 30. Rip. Fixed an issue where guaranteed overpower attack from the Wrathmass Vigor key passive were not benefiting from the Paragon letter. Okay. More damage. Fixed an issue where the automatic corpse explosion cast from Sacrilegious Malignant Power could ignore the damage reducing effect from the power when using unenhanced corpse explosion. That's very specific. Okay. Fixed an issue where the untimely death aspect only increased overpower damage on the blood lance that was cast and not all the lance targets. Oh, that's a big buff. Fixed an issue where the buff, it's an issue, right? It was supposed to be like that. Fixed an issue where the Decrepit Aura Malignant Power was equipped twice. The power with the lowest number of near enemies required to activate was not the one that... You can equip the same power twice, but it just doesn't work twice. I didn't know you could equip the same power twice. Fixed an issue where... I thought you couldn't, because they don't work, but... Fixed an issue where shields held by a Necromancer would cover their face in loading screens. We're not selling enough MTX. They're covering the faces with shields. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. That's good change. Fixed an issue where in perfect balance could only... Oh, this is what people have been bitching about. There you go. It's like, are you gonna fix it? Of course they're gonna fucking fix it. What do you mean? Like, that question had me on the campfire chat. Are you gonna... it says I can put 3 points in, but I only put 1 in. Are you gonna fix it? Of course they're gonna fix it. What the fuck do you mean? Fixed an issue where the Decrepit wouldn't trigger when mounted? Okay. Rogue fixed an issue where Poison Trap could be infinitely cast without spending energy by using the concealment skill near zone transition areas. That is such a specific thing. Okay. Fixed an issue where the Shadow Clone's taunt effect from triggering Malignant Power could taunt other players in... You get taunted? In PvP? And the taunt was the breakable words. Okay. Alright, Sorcerer. Elemental Dominance didn't function correctly when using core or master skill. Dealt damage over time. Okay. Meteor cast above 50 mana that would take you under 50 would not get the full damage bonus. Oh. Fixed an issue where the Omni Power wouldn't probably consume additional mana, which would then not trigger other interactions with the... Okay. Wait. It wouldn't probably consume additional mana and then not trigger interaction with all the resource. The damage reduction from the mana shield. Yeah, this is the one where whenever you use a... Is it a core skill? I think it's core skill. I don't think it's just fireball. I think it's core skill. You use your mana, it spawns additional based on how much mana you use for fire. That's pretty cool. Fixing an issue where the omnipower power was inconsistently launching the appropriate number of projectiles. Fixed an issue where the omnipower was inconsistently launching the appropriate number of projectiles. What the fuck does that mean? It was inconsistently launching the appropriate number of projectiles. Are they saying it wasn't consistently firing off as many projectiles as it should be? Or how can you inconsistently launch the appropriate stuff? It might be me being pedantic, but that sounds like you worded it wrong. Shouldn't it be... Shouldn't it be wasn't consistently launching the appropriate number of projectiles? Because if it's inconsistently launching, does that mean it's just firing off whenever? It's like you fire and then a few seconds after it fires the correct number of... What the fuck does it... Am I dumb? Maybe I'm dumb. We'll go forward. Wait, the previous tooltip was a bit misleading as it did not consume the entirety of your mana pool. It will consume as much as it can depending on the number of rolls for the new affix. Oh, so it's not going to take all of it. It's just going to take in... it's going to take in brackets, right? So if it's 30 per extra and you have 110, it's not going to take 110 mana. It's going to take 90 because then it'll leave you with 20 because it couldn't actually fire anything off with it, I assume. Fix an issue where the Dark Dance Malignant Power would reset the align the elements passive. Okay. Fix an issue where the random location teleport from Oculus could cosplay. Yeah. Just here's a tip. Just remove the random location teleport and this would be a great thing. The Oculus would be a great unique if you remove this. Alright. I think... Wait. Fix an issue where the speed increase from first skill, but man was slower on controller and keyboard. It's slower on controller than keyboard and mouse? It's already fucking slow on keyboard and mouse. Fixed an issue where elite enemies would teleport. It could teleport from off screen and deal excessive damage. Yup. Fixing to toss the out could still damage the player after dying. Yup. I've died to both of these. With a Majub. The fuck's a Majub? Is there anything up here that makes any sense? Fixed an issue where Paragon nodes would sometimes not provide bonus with stat boosting gear. What? Okay. Continuing enchanting an item could result in having the stat show. Fixed an issue where continuously enchanting an item could result in having the same stat show repeatedly in subsequent rerolls. Where you just get duplicate. So what, you're gonna have a DR on the chance to getting something you've already gotten? I'm curious. I'm scared of how they're gonna do this one. That seems a little dangerous. Because what if the reoccurring one is the one you actually fucking want, yeah? What if you're fucking trying to roll cooldown and it's cooldown? If they're gonna make that even less likely now, I'm not sure. But on the other hand, it is also gonna make it less likely that you just get int. Fixed an issue where mounting your steed while moving would behave erratically when... Why is it always on console? Oh, seasonal. Let's look at this. This might be good. I don't really care about the quests there, whatever. Where the Prudent Heart would not trigger while mounted. Okay. Dark Dance would behave as player was damaging themselves, which could apply other effects that occur when player deals damage. Fixed an issue where the Dark Dance Malignant Power could behave as if the player was damaging themselves, which could apply other effects that occur when the player deals damage. So you're just killing yourself, or... fuck? Just apply vulnerable to yourself. Oops. Fixed an issue where the Evoker Vashan recipe could be lost. That's not bad. Fixed an issue where the Barb of Malignant Power would absorb damage from all other players and not just Plow with equipped. Okay, well that sounds broken. Urn of Bargaining Season Blessing was increasing the enhanced cost. Oh, fixed an issue where the Urn of Bargaining Season Blessing was increasing the enchant cost for item. Nice. This Dark Dance one has had a lot of issues, I see. Could kill the player. Oh, this is the one where you use life instead of resource. It will no longer consume life if the player does not have enough life to pay. Dude, imagine dying to your fucking power. Fix an issue where effect that build up from dealing damage to rogue's inner side wouldn't probably build, while the effect from the power. Oh. Okay. Shop, we don't care. UI, don't really care. Miscellaneous, don't really care. So overall, there's not much to criticize here. It's just bug fixes. There's not really that many nerfs. The only thing, maybe, is the boss health. I don't think... Fucking Sylvestering up here. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. It will until your... So, until your build is strong and powerful and really pumping, it will affect you. Once your build is there... I don't think it will really. Yeah, you're gonna be slightly slower for sure. I'm not saying that you won't feel it at all. I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna really change what you can do. If that makes sense. If you were clearing Sigil 80, I think you'll still clear Sigil 80. I just think you have to spend another 6-10 seconds on the boss. That's at least my experience. Other builds might struggle more, other builds might, but I think there's a lot of builds that will be more powerful than the ones I've played. For my character right now, it is definitely going to have a massive effect. Bosses take crap tons of time for me at the moment. I am also playing at a level 50 something on against mobs that are 73 plus. So that also has an effect, obviously, but... And also, I don't have any ancestral gear yet because that's a level 60 requirement. So, but... Maybe at the higher... so, Sigil 80 to 100, it's gonna matter. My experience is that this is not really gonna change squat. Yeah, you're gonna be there for another couple of seconds, so it is gonna slow you down, but you're still gonna kill the boss. So, yeah. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.